Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it may be in whatever part of the world you may be in. This is Dr. Don with another daily light point. We've been exploring this theme around strengths, identifying our strengths, connecting with our strengths, nurturing our strengths. As we wrap up this week, one of the requests that I've received from our listeners is they really respond well to um, the light points that include exercises, things that individuals can actively practice each and every day. So I want to leave you with an exercise for the weekend, and what I'll try to do is. At least on Fridays, leave you with something to chew on over the weekend, exercises that you can practice over the weekend and throughout the week. I'll try to be more intentional about that. So thank you for the feedback. Um, the exercise that I think of leads us to a podcast that I'm recording with Dr. Nushin Bayat later this afternoon, and is centered around mental strength. And when I think about mental strength and what's required for us to build upon our mental strength, right? Our mental fortitude, our capacity to navigate difficult circumstances and maintain mental stability, to be able to see things clearly, think clearly, and act upon the things that are necessary for us to persevere. I think of it in the context of the power that our mindset has on how we realize certain outcomes in our life. So, mental strength in the context of mindset, how do we practice the mental muscle around seeing opportunities through adversity? Picking apart or pulling apart the onion or the banana or whatever visual you can make, peeling apart the layers of what we're faced with when we're addressing an obstacle and circumstances that don't align with our desired outcome. How do we put ourselves in a mental state where we can say, yes, this is happening in that moment, but in the midst of that, there's an opportunity being created. There's something that is positive, that is necessary for my realignment so that I can get further along in this journey that I'm on. When I think about that, it's so subtle, but it's so impactful when you view as many challenges that you encounter across a day, no matter how minuscule to how significant, and you force yourself to think about the positive implications of that circumstance or that situation, even when it's painful, even when it's frustrating, even when it's difficult, even when it's in misalignment. How do we nurture our capacity to do that? My flight is delayed. Now, I could get frustrated about my flight being delayed. This is figurative. I'm not actually flying today, but if my flight is delayed, how do I think about the implications of that? Okay, it could be frustrating. It could cause me to delay my connections. I may miss a meeting, whatever the circumstances may be. For every negative connotation associated with the circumstance or situation, where are my positives? Okay, my flight is delayed. Well, I'm not on that flight, right? I could have mitigated being stuck on an airplane. I could have mitigated um, mechanical issues that could have been more significant. It could have been a catastrophe I just avoided by that flight being delayed. You know what? I'm sitting here. What things could I do that I otherwise would not have been as comfortable working on while I was in flight? Maybe I could follow up on some emails. Maybe I could finish a report I needed to finish. You know what? I need to record more light points. Maybe there's someone I could spark a conversation with that can lead to a light point recording that is truly real time, organic, and it could be one of my best light points that I ever recorded simply because I seized this opportunity that it's been created. That simple example, what if we applied it in as many circumstances in our lives? That leads me to your exercise. This weekend, what I want you to do is every time you encounter a moment or situation or circumstance that you deem not ideal, not in alignment with what you set out to do. It could be from you being stuck in traffic while you're headed to the supermarket to you got a difficult phone call or a phone call that you didn't want to receive. Whatever the circumstances may be. This weekend, I want you to take a moment to pause in that moment, ask yourself a few things. Okay, what's happening right now that that's driving me to experience this negative emotion in this moment? Frustration, shock, whatever it may be. Pause and reflect on the emotion. If you have to write it down, write it down. Then I want you to force yourself, based on that very specific circumstance, identify one positive outcome or circumstance or alternative that is created as a result of that thing that's happening. For example, I'm stuck in traffic. Emotion, frustration. Opportunity created, catch up on phone calls. I've been meaning to follow up with individuals, but I've been traveling so crazy that I haven't been able to touch base with people. Now I'm sitting in traffic, perfect time to catch up on those phone calls. Double positive because I'm trying to be more intentional about maintaining relationships. Triple positive because as a procrastinator or someone who has a tendency to be a procrastinator, any opportunity I have to seize to take action on something right away, I'm going to do. See what happens there? Taking a negative circumstance and starting to correlate it to a positive outcome, you perpetuate momentum around the positive, not the negative. That's the magic in that. So I want to encourage you this weekend to do that. And then if anyone who's bold enough to comment on this video or respond to this video after you do that exercise, let me know your thoughts. Maybe it's something you already apply in your life. I want you to respond to this video and share a positive outcome from that. You can record it. You can send a message. I'd love to hear from you. Later this afternoon, I'm going to record a podcast that expands upon this concept of how powerful our mindset is in the context of how we manifest things in our life. With that being said, thank you for tuning in to this extended daily Light Point. I'm so grateful for your time where we talk real leaders, real talk, real time.